My voice might be gone. That was a tough one. I think the score right now, the score is not an indication of how the game was. Long Beach State's a really good team. I thought they disrupted us. It wasn't us, it was what they did to us that made us make some adjustments and had us on our heels. I thought credit to Long Beach State on turning us over, taking care of the ball, not letting us speed them up. I thought sitting in a zone for 40 minutes on a make or miss they probably played like I say 37 minutes a zone, and so we have to be better at that. So the good thing is that I'm kind of glad we had this test, and we were losing by a lot. I think we were losing by 15 at some point, right? 13 or 15, 12. It felt like 25, but and then we found a way to rally and found a way to win. So that was a positive thing, but we have to get better at some basic things that we are not where we need to be at all right now.
Those basic things, what?
Our defense, because we can score the ball. We can have a bad shooting night and score 86 to 95 points. Against a better team, we can score 80 points easily, 75 points. But we have to guard. We have to guard better. I think right now we don't have one lockdown defender. We have different people at different times in the game, but we have to get better at being disciplined in what we do. And right now we're not disciplined, and being consistent in what we do. And right now we're not. So I take full accountability in that. And Coach Salvo and I work on the defense. I've given him the responsibility to be on us defensively. So I'm going to put a lot more pressure, and we are going to get better defensively.
The open threes that were, so many of them were just open. What was the cause? What was the defense doing that was causing?
The first thing is we're not guarding the ball well. We know how to guard who we're guarding. We have different assignments, and we know how to play personnel. We're very specific and very prepared, scout-wise, and we are in the wrong position, which leads to open threes. And we aren't guarding the ball effectively. If we know it's a driver that is going left-handed 99% of the time, you cannot continuously let them drive left-handed and get deep in the paint. So at first it's going to start with our one-on-one pride in our defense, which we're going to get better at. Getting low, not standing up. You stand up, you can't play defense. That's not what you can do in basketball. And then positioning on the other side. We don't help off certain areas. We do help off other areas. We're very specific, and we work on it, and obviously not enough because right now we're not enough. And we don't help off certain areas. And there's certain things we did, and we did it continuously. We probably gave 20 points off of that, and that's not what we do. I don't know in my 7 years here if we've ever allowed a team in the preseason or even in the year, in any time of the year, score 60% from the three. I don't know who's ever done that. I don't even know we don't even let Stanford or teams that are top 5 in the country do that. So that tells me we're out of position. We're not moving on the air time of the ball. And I need to see the film because I don't want to be negative because we did some great things, but fundamentally we are getting back to the basics, and we are lacking the basic fundamentals of our defense right now. And I'm not worried about offense. We haven't put a lot of stuff in, and we're not going to until we get better defensively because scoring is not the problem, but defending is.
And as far as those turnovers, was it what they were doing? Was it decisions on your part?
I think it was decisions. We hadn't faced a lot of zone, so I think some of it was just nerves and decisions, and it was different zone than we were used to. We haven't played a lot against the zone, to be honest. And I think just our hesitancy and lack of focus in the first 10 minutes. It's the way we started defensively and offensively, and then we were getting punched in the face. So we were on our heels, so they're not as confident on offense. Usually it's opposite. We're really solid defensively to start the games, and then you get confidence on offense because then you get easy shots. They sat in a zone. We were unsure. We weren't able to hit certain areas because it was like a really extended zone, and it just gave us problems. I thought we made some good adjustments, and then we started scoring. But those are options in our zone. We weren't able to do it off a basic thing we normally do. We're usually excellent against zone, even with non-shooters. And now we have shooters, and we're not excellent against it. So we just have to get better. We have to get back to the basics. You can't play 10 feet above the three-point line against a zone. Just you got to penetrate gaps. Those are basic fundamentals, and we have to get back to that even on offense because we could score more points, but I'm not worried about offense because I'm more worried about the defense because with our adjustments, we started scoring against the zone pretty easily. But the turnovers, I mean, having 10 in the first half and then 10 the rest of the game, and then third quarter not forcing any turnovers, that tells me we're not guarding. Because if that's the way we play and we're not able to do that, and I mean, the other problem is, Long Beach State averages 20 turnovers a game, and we have them come in our place and only give 20 turnovers. That's a problem. So that also tells me we're not where we need to be. So the good thing is it's early and we have work to do. And a good shooting team is never 56% from the three. So that's a focus and fatigue thing. So that tells me, so where we're at right now, we're not in good enough shape to play the way I want to play. We are not focused, and we don't have a sense of urgency with the way we need to play. So we're going to get that, but it's like finding every team is different to coach. So you got to find the buttons to push. And I was pushing those buttons in shoot around today because we weren't focused. We were half asleep at 9 o'clock. I mean, really, like walking around, not ready, and just. So I saw that in the shoot around, and I challenged them in shoot around. So we have to get better, and we got to get a little bit some more leadership to step up and hold us accountable. Besides, it all be coming from the coach, because championship teams I've been on, it comes from within. So we have to extract some of that out of players. It's gonna come.
So Lauren was your player of the game.
Yeah.
She really showed a lot more tonight than the first couple of games. How do you see her getting more comfortable in your system?
I think that, so I like choosing her, I didn't choose her off of stats. I chose her off of the momentum and the fire she gave us. She's getting more comfortable. I think she's working herself in better shape. She's not in shape to play our style yet. And it's different. When you come from different schools, you play different style. So I think that as she gets in better, like just fitness-wise, she'll be able to press more. She'll be able to be better on the ball. But she's active on the ball, and she's working hard on the court. She's like a blue-collar player, so I love it. But that's going to come. I thought she made some big plays. I thought she had some great passes. I thought she had some great and ones, and she had energy. I don't like the technical, but I thought that was a really, quick tee. I mean, I don't know what was said, though, to be honest. So we don't want to do that. But these are learning things. I think that she's going to get better and better. She's going to continue to play like that, and I think even be better for us. And I think Jade, a couple games hasn't been as efficient as she normally is. But also, I think pressing and taking some tough shots. We have to find ways to move the ball better and get her more open shots. Like, we don't need a first one-pass shot. We need to get it to her on the reversals, but we need to find her because shooters need to touch the ball and be in rhythm. So I think she won't be as pressed and won't take some forced shots if we get her some better shots in rhythm, which we will. But I thought Shayna played good. I thought as Mary and Kate played really well. As Mary continuing to be, shooting like 70%. That's phenomenal for the way she plays, undersized post. So, and then Kate and Esmeri just really controlling the boards, had 18 of our 43 rebounds, which is really good.
Kate was especially important there in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
What was it that you thought it took so long for her? Was she just? Was it just what you guys were doing, or was it her?
No, I think in the first quarter, we weren't getting the ball inside. The ball was on the perimeter, jacking up shots. So we need to get the ball inside now. We are better when we do that, and especially against the zone that's extended, you have to touch the corners, you have to touch inside. So I think we just weren't giving her the ball, and it was hard because the zone was high. It's hard for them to see inside, so it has to go off reversals, and we weren't getting there, to be honest. So I think the adjustments got us there, and then they were huge. And even when they didn't get the ball, it left the corners open. So I thought better. But I thought she stuck with it, and that's the maturity of a fifth year. I thought Kate did a really good job of not getting down because she wasn't getting touches, and then they're going to come. It's always going to come. That's why I tell the players, we don't have to force shots. Like, we can score. We have a lot. 1, 2, 3. So, what, 6 people? No, 5. 1, 2, 3. 5 people in double digits. Like, we're going to have that. Helena's also like a starter. She can be in double digits. So it's not the scoring. It's like looking. You may have a good shot, but finding the great shots. I think taking uncontested shots at a high percentage is what we need to do. And if you look, we're 51% from the floor with still some forced shots. And so when we take those open shots, we can be more efficient. So that's why I'm not worried about the offense. I'm worried about the defense. And, but the good thing is you can't teach someone how to score, but you can teach them how to defend. Because you can teach angles, you can teach, play different people different ways. I think it's harder to teach someone to score or shoot. It's easier to teach defense, and that's a here thing. So we'll get there. But in the past, usually we're opposite. Usually we're so good defensively, we can't throw, a penny in the ocean sometimes. But now I think it's opposite. But finding that balance to be able to win games is going to be challenging right now.
You seem to rely on your starters and relying on more experienced players tonight. And is that probably what we'll see as you go forward?
I mean, absolutely. I think that's the way it is. That's the way it always is. You go with, because it's not the time where I'm experimenting. We need to win. So that's why you need those games that you can do that and play different lineups because of this. Like, Kaylin's hasn't been in these pressure situations. Lamaya hasn't. Maya hasn't. So those turnovers when the games are tight, they're important. So I think just understanding and having a taste of that today, then they can earn more. But seeing how they produce under the pressure is also a good indicator of, earning more time, because every minute's important. And, just we can't we can't lose momentum when we sub. But there's nothing like experience. So if you've never been there, you don't know what that's like. So I think these are the games you do that. But then you can't lose. When it's a 4-point game, that's not the time to experiment. But I think, Caitlin's going to get better. Caitlin can play more. Maya, Lamaya, Maddie can play more. It's just there's different combinations, and we're sometimes playing 4 guards. And I think just guarding is one of our areas we have to get better in. Being able to come in and guard without fouling. Like, Caitlin got hit on a screen, gave up a 3. And then they get turnover. So she has to learn, and we have to teach her. We have to show film, work on it. But we'll improve our players.
But Caitlin didn't seem to be not looking for her shot so much on transition stuff. Had a couple good assists.
She's doing a good job. Because as a point guard, she's finding people, and that's a big adjustment for a high school player, because you're used to scoring every time. Paris, Lamaya, Maya, Kaylin, you're used to doing that. So I think she's made a conscious effort to get better defensively, which she's been better. She still has some work to do. And better job of distributing and kicking the ball up. She had a phenomenal pass to Shayna. A couple weeks ago, she would have probably shot that. But those are signs of growth, and those are good things, because we already know she can score. We already know she's going to be a great player. She's going to be phenomenal in the system. But she's learning, and it's moving fast. So, the quicker they catch on, the more opportunities. Like, Lamaya learns really fast. Maya is not used to trapping and hedging. She's used to staying inside, so she's got to get quicker at those things. But that will come because we're going to work on them. But it takes time, and it takes experience, and it takes sometimes failing in certain situations, like in games, getting beat on that a lot, to take pride in it the next time. And, Maya's getting healthy, so getting them ready, getting Paris back, she'll be back tomorrow, getting them back into shape, getting them ready it takes time. And we haven't really had everybody full in practice. I'm telling you, since we've started, we have not had everybody full in practice in months. Maya's been out a lot. Kaylin hasn't really been out. A little bit out, but now she's fine. Paris has kind of been in and out a few times. So Maya has probably been the only freshman that's been in. So they need those reps and experience and practice. So it'll come. Cool, you guys. Thanks.